Hello, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone rule well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. This is going to be a quick one. I don't know. I got a break at the plantation, but the challenge is brevity yet being thorough. So trying to be brief, but also trying to be thorough. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, and just a brief overview here so you know what we're talking about, what we're getting into. I'm only going to get the first couple of precepts or the first couple of verses when it comes to the examples. But basically, this is wisdom, okay? And that might just be something along those lines, like this is wisdom, or something like that, right? But basically, so we'll start off with the overview here, okay? And this is Solomon talking about how wisdom will serve you if you are disciplined, okay? If you have the discipline, and first and foremost, if you have, that spirit that is given to you. The spirit of wisdom must be given unto you, just like as you fast forward into the New Testament, the Holy Spirit, the Comforter that is talked about in John 14:26. Yahushua was to ascend back into the heavens as on the right hand of the Father, as he completed his duty here on the earth as he came as a man, meek, lowly, and humble. And that Holy Spirit was to come. You know what? We'll just go. We will just get it. And then I'll get back to the overview. So this is John, straight to the point. I think, no, I went 14:26. Maybe a little bit further. Okay, so 26 here. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, I don't like that word ghost. It makes it trivial. I don't like it. Anyway, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name. He shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you, right? So Yahushua, taught the disciples, and after he left, in his place was the Comforter, right? And that Holy Spirit is what unlocks the knowledge of these scriptures, all right? And then you take your knowledge and you apply it to your life throughout the day, throughout the years, or whatever, what have you, and you beget wisdom. That begets wisdom, okay? Wisdom is the application of the knowledge that you have gained, especially when it comes to, working out matters of this truth, all right? Working out your salvation with fear and trembling. All right, so we're going to go back here. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 1 through 2 is about Adam. Verse 3 is about Cain. Verse 4 is about Noah, okay? Verse 5, which, I'm sorry, we'll get, you can read, let me start over. So 1 through 2 is Adam, and you can get the precept in context through Genesis 2, okay? I also would want to pair 2nd Esdras 3 and 5, where it talks about Adam being made a living soul, given that knowledge, given that wisdom, and then it basically the holy way, okay? And then you fast forward, verse 3 is Cain, okay? You can find that in Genesis 4. Also, I think Genesis 10, or no, 10 and 4, and then 6 and 8, okay? Basically, it's how Cain forsook that righteous way, right? Because remember, he slew his brother Abel. Abel had a righteous sacrifice. Cain did what he wanted to do, forsaking wisdom. Do as thou wilt, right? And he got what he got, okay? Understand now. We'll get those. I'm gonna get those first couple of verses. All right. Now, verse 4 is Noah. Verse 5 is Abraham. Okay, you can find that in Genesis 22, verse 6 through 8. That's talking about Lot. Okay, you can find that in Genesis 19, verse 9 through 12 is Jacob. Okay, where he was fleeing from Esau, and then how he wrestled the angel, and his name was changed to Israel, which is the progenitor of the 12 tribes. Okay, That's also Genesis 28. So Genesis 27, 28, and then Genesis 32. You can go. I'm giving you giving you everything, so you can go look and read that up on your own. All right. Verse 13 and 14. That's going to be about Joseph. Okay, that's Genesis 37 and 39. Verse 15 through 21. Okay, that is, with Moses and the Exodus out of, us coming out of the bondage of Mizraim, or out of Egypt. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is read the first, we'll read 10 through 4, maybe 5. Yeah, 10 through 4, and it will go get those precepts, okay? But what this is about here, you're seeing is the recounting or the retelling of historical events that, wisdom is basically I don't want to say a tool. Wisdom is like what's a word I'm looking for? It's like a helper, an agent, it's an agent, that Yahweh uses to guide his people. But you have to seek that knowledge. You have to, be given the spirit. You have to chase righteousness, right? You have to seek wisdom early, which it says in the earlier chapters. Okay. And then, as it feels that you can be trusted, it will sup with you as the Holy Spirit will sup with you as it feels you can be trusted. Okay. But the first and foremost is the fear of the Lord, and that wanting, that longing for righteousness. And you will, you'll continue to grow from there. So here, we'll read it from the top. She preserved the first formed father of the world, which was created alone, and brought him out of his fall, and gave him power to rule all things. But when the unrighteous went away from her in his anger, he perished, and also in the fury wherein he murdered his brother, okay, Cain and Abel. For whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood, wisdom again preserved it, and directed the course of the righteous in a piece of wood of small value, right? That ship he made of gopher wood, and he got animals clean and unclean. How did he know what was clean and unclean? What did he also do? He built an altar unto the Lord. How did he know what the specifications were, right? Because it got passed down from Adam, right? All right, so let's go. We want to talk about Adam being made a living soul, right? So let's go. First, I want 2nd Ezra, since we're right here, 3 and 5, what I was talking about. We'll start at 4. O Lord, who bearest rule, thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people, and gave a body unto Adam without soul. All right, so he was basically what we are without the truth. All right, we just walking corpses, brain dead corpses, without soul, which was the workmanship of thy hand, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. Right? He gave Adam the understanding. He gave Adam the priesthood and how it was supposed to be run, what you were supposed to do via the sacrifices, via the altars, via all of those things, right? Name the animals, have control over them, all of it, everything. And that is what you're going to get. We prayerfully, I say we're going to get back. All right. Now let's go to Genesis 2 and 7. Or we'll just go to 2 and kind of read through it. Actually, no, it's 7. Here, and Yahweh power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Adam became a living soul. Adam is a representation of the holy people. Before you were Israelites, before you were whatever your respective tribe was, you were known as the sons of God. And the sons of God were given that oral priesthood passed down, that understanding, that wisdom, if you will, on how to conduct yourself. Okay? Now, we're moving on to verse 3. We're going to skip to Genesis 4. Okay, this talks about Cain. Adam knew his wife. She conceived and bare Cain. And he said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. And she again bare his brother, Abel. Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass, Cain brought the fruit of the ground, an offering unto Yahweh. Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, which you can find in Leviticus about what the animal sacrifices were when we were doing that at that time. Okay, understand Yahweh Shai was the final lamb without blemish, all right, without spot and without blemish. Okay, and in process, verse 4. And Abel also brought the firstling of the flock and the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Why? Because he did what he was supposed to do. He served Lord properly according to wisdom. Well, what did Cain do, who was later that spirit of Esau? All right, but unto Cain, his offering, he had not respect. Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. You see that when you fast forward with Jacob and Esau. He sold his birthright and then bitched and complained and cried which it never was for you in the first place. Okay, but he bitched and complained even though he gave it up, not thinking of the future, not exercising wisdom, and pretty much cost his descendants. Carnally, he cost his descendants. That rulership, that eternal dominion. All right. And then wants to cry about it like he didn't just do it to himself. You see that with these Edomites here and now today. Same damn spirit. And I mean damned. Same damned spirit. But unto Cain his offering, and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thou countenance fallen? If thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? Do what you supposed to do, you'll be all right. But he want to do his own thing, do his own way, and expect everything to work out. Look what he doing now. Shooting rockets at into the sky, trying to blow up the moon, trying to block the sun with Stardust. The thing is, look up Stardust. I think is what it's called. That's a startup company. Just came up out of nowhere. They want to block the sun. They want to take what is already good and make their own. That's why your food is defiled. The fruit has almost damn near 80% less nutrients than what it did 30 years ago. You can't breathe clean air. You can't drink clean water. The bodies of water all throughout the North America, okay, all throughout Babylon are polluted. Shit, piss, corpses, everything you can think of. Don't even give me. Let's move on. Okay. What else did we get? Oh, verse 4. All right, about the flood with Noah. Okay. And we'll just get this straight here. What happened? Verse 8, Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Wow, everybody was doing what they wanted to do, living in that spirit of Cain. And he preached and was telling them a flood is coming. Nobody believed him, right? Noah found grace. Noah was righteous. That priesthood, that knowledge, that wisdom was passed down. Okay? Let's see. I talked about the generations of Noah. Yeah, and you can read through that on your own, okay? So let's get a precept about having that faith and then having the fear of the Lord, because it says Noah moved with fear, all right, when he was supposed to, doing what he was doing. Hebrews 11. See how much time I got. All right, we making good time. Hebrews 11, straight to the point here. Verse 7. By faith Noah, being warned of Yahweh, not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith, right? Faith, fear, all right, giving you that wisdom, giving you that knowledge, that Holy Spirit, it all comes together. You need these things, especially now. And we'll go to Proverbs. It's only fitting we hit Proverbs 9, that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, all right? Because he said he moved with fear. Proverbs 9 and 10, straight to the point here. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. All of these things come together to bake the perfect cake. Or should we say, make that showbread, I guess, if you that spiritual showbread that we gonna, offer up as a sacrifice, all right, in the spirit, of course. All right, all of these ingredients: fear, discipline, wisdom. What else do we say? Understanding. And now all of these things come together. You need each one. Each one depends on the other. All right, but that foundation, okay, the very first thing you need is the fear. Understanding who the Lord is, understand the names, and in fear, because fear will allow you to operate in righteousness. Fear will be the driver of discipline. All right, so I think that we've covered it. I think we've got everything that we need here, right? Again, I pray that you were edified. I know this was short. It was quick, but I pray, you stuck with me. That's why I wanted to do the overview in the beginning so you can do your own research. But with that being said, I pray that you were edified.